Hey guys, so we are here doing another budget video. This is the third week of September. It's gonna be another disappointing income week. I had another festival that was a disappointment. I swear to you guys, I do make money doing this, but the last one was new and really awful. And if you watched my kind of like recap chit chat video, you know all about that. This one, I made a little bit of money, but this one was different, and it was a new festival again, but it was different, definitely different, and I lacked sales for a totally different reason. It's very dramatic, not because of me, but it was a lot. I was next to a political booth and it got crazy constantly. So anyhow, let's get to the actual budget. Okay, so here we are. If this is the first time watching a budget video of mine, you can see like some little stuff around here. This is a table where I make a lot of my stuff for festivals, and some of my stuff does incorporate resin, like I do some 3D flower art and just on and on. Like these have resin too. These are partially done bookmarks, but anyhow, yeah, let's get to this. There's not a lot going on. It's very dull and disappointing, and I had to go to a different page because I started doing all the stuff here and realized I forgot food. Like, that's sort of important. Grocery tracking. Okay, we had 19. Okay, so yeah, actually we need to start over here. Sorry, I am very discombobulated here. Okay, so this is what we had going on last week. All right, so I ended up with $19 left over in my grocery rollover. I do not take money from food. I keep it in food and just roll it so that I can take advantage of sales and stock up on things like that. Okay, so over here, you can see I crossed out Straight Talk, and that is because I just didn't get around to taking care of all of that stuff. Like, because I needed to order the Straight Talk phone and all this for my daughter. And I just didn't get around to doing it. So I have that crossed out, and I'm bumping this money over to this week. So whenever we go down here, this is also, so, sorry. Let me try to get on track here. So we were lower on like the Cub Scout essentials. What I spent in like our household needs category was a little bit lower. Cat litter was a little bit higher. This was a little bit lower, so the money down here was different than it was, plus it's 400 because of that. But anyway, so whenever I bumped it over here, we still have our checking cushion. Savings, I switched to 19 so that we could come out with an even number right there. So now let's go over here. No, that is where I forgot the food. Okay, so here we go. We're ending up with total available of $1,424.88. You can see that our income was only $1,024. So less than I would have made just delivering groceries. But like I said, that festival, it was insane. Like, so insane. Like, they didn't follow their own like vendor rules, all these other things. So I'm actually disputing that charge. But anyhow, okay. So we're putting a quarter of the mortgage out of the budget. We're paying a quarter of the mortgage. Our food, I'm budgeting at $175. Straight Talk, I bumped it up to $125 because I think that I didn't even budget enough initially, so I'm just kind of being safe there. We are paying our US Cellular bill. My husband needs a haircut, which after tip, he typically spends $40. And then we need to take the dog to the groomer. She's not long-haired. She's a bulldog, and she will not let us cut her nails. So we take her primarily for that. They do bathe her and all the things. So we're taking her to get that done, and we get charged extra because of the fact that she's a bulldog. So let's see where we are at here. Okay, so we have mortgage, food, Straight Talk, US Cellular, haircut, groomer. And if you've watched a video before, even though I have $1,400 available, I'm trying to maintain that cushion. So I try to just budget off of like actual income. So that would be 11,24,88 remaining. So 205.88 is what we have. Now I'm going to double check my math. Hold on. Yep, 205.88. So I'm going to pop over here to the calendar and see what's happening over here. So if we're looking at this check, which is right here in blue, I had initially planned to pay the socket, which is our internet, and the US Cellular bill. Those are the only two things that were due that we had to cover out of this third check. Now, our second check, we were able to cover that socket bill. So I'm not concerned about that. And the second check is also covering technically the straight talk down here. So that means third check, we're able to cover US Cellular, which we are. So now with that 205, I'm going to pop down here and see, hey, what can I cover down here with 205? Well, it looks like I can choose either Discover or Progressive, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and do Discover. It's a little bit more, so I'm going to do that. So that leaves us with $17.88 doing that. So I'm going to stop there and come over here and enter that right here. Okay, so here we are adding Discover at 188. So I do my math like a ton of times just because I just really want to make sure it's right. You know, I don't like the account getting messed up, then it gets confusing and I have to go back and figure out what you did. So that brings us to 1107 after adding Discover. Now, once again, I'm going to double check. Yep, 1107. So we are good there. So we have our expenses. I'm trying to make sure you guys can see that. Okay. Yeah. All right. So fixed 1107. And we are going to get rid of 1124.88. So we have $17.88 remaining. Okay. Over here, we actually have, oops, because I'm not touching the cushion, so I actually have $317.88 in the account right now. So I'm going to account for the cushion. 300. Tentatively, we are putting $17.88 over into savings. Now, if something is off here and we go over here, I will first go here and incorporate this money into our expenses until the budget is finalized next week. If we need more money beyond that, that's when I'll start dipping into the cushion. So as of right now, I do count the cushion as part of savings, even though it's kind of like springy savings, right? So it can go down and then right back and then down and then right back. So we are at a zero-based budget. And then I just realized I didn't do our food over here. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done. So we had a rollover of 19 and then just regular food budget 175, and I have 194 available to spend this week. Now we're going to come back over here and go over the calendar. We're going to be right here in this column. So I was already out of town right here, hoping to make some money. I really didn't. I made a few $100. Yeah. If you want to hear all about this, I'll have a video up on Friday giving you some details about how nutso this was. Okay, I am out of town one more time. I have one more festival this month. This is in Lee's Summit, Missouri, and I have traditionally done well there. I've never been to their Oktoberfest. I have been there in the summertime twice. They would downtown days, like their big summer carnival. And I have done well during the summer. And summer festivals are kind of rough. You don't make nearly as much as you do in the fall, although my fall has been horrific so far. Okay, so let's go down here. We're tracking savings. I will update this at the beginning of next month. I've decided I'm going to track like our previous month's income right here. So August was pretty strong, but it was a 5 paycheck month. And then our September income goal, I decided to set it a big stretch of 7,000. It would be an average of 1,750. We are nowhere near this, and we will probably not hit it. Like, it would take a miracle. Like, I would have to make so much money next weekend. I don't know if I will. My booth, I don't know if it's a good spot or not. I'm literally at the very, very end of this street. So, I mean, we'll just see. I've never been there before, so I don't know. Anyway, this is what has happened so far. Week 1, we only did 1123, coming off of that Blueberry Festival. Horrific. Week 2, we did okay at 1480. Still not at that average that we needed to hit of 1750, but better than week 1. And then week 3 is even worse than week 1. So, yeah. We shall see. Let me know in the comments, how is your budget going this month? Clearly, we're we're struggling over here, but we're making it through.